Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the online darts coverage of the 2024 Grand Slam of Darts Qualifier. We've got 8 spaces left, 8 opportunities for those who have not yet booked a place in Wolverhampton to get there. There are some rather unexpected, very unexpected in some cases, players in today's draw. First of all, there are the players that we didn't think would have to come through this. So we've got the likes of Chris Dobey and Damon Heta, who I think in previous years, if we hadn't had so many rogue and unusually strange winners of major TV events, that they would have been there on the basis of winning Players' Championship events, but they aren't. And as Nina's just pointed out in the chat room, who expected Gezzy? We didn't. Here at Online Darts, there was a message around in our WhatsApp group this morning of people thinking, why is he there? Nobody seemed to know anything about it. He just seems to have stopped there an extra day and decided to participate. We know it's a tournament that he particularly likes. It's obviously a big opportunity to earn some big money as well for him. So very, very much a surprise. As you'll see on there, we got some gamers warming up. What we'll do is once we get one of those games up and running, we'll have a feature game over here on this side of the screen. I shall do my best. I am not technically gifted. You will notice through the course of the afternoon that sometimes the boxes won't be where they're supposed to be and the wrong thing will get clicked. We'll work through it together. It's not a problem. Chat room's bouncing. Like I'm quite surprised as to how many folks we've got in already. It looks like we're underway. We just roll up. There we go. So we are underway. First leg of the day hasn't yet been taken, but we're underway. Let's have a look at what have we got in there. What are interesting games. Anthony, I've noticed in the chat, I'm sure he will be keeping an eye on Matt Campbell. We've got some North American representation today at the qualifier. What else is here? What's good? Luke Woodhouse against Ricky Evans is a good match. That's a lovely game. In fact, I think that's exactly the sort of thing that we will want as a featured game. Let's see what we can do here. Divide the screen up and have that as a feature. There we go. Well, that doesn't look too bad, does it? That's all right. Well, the fact that I've managed to get that done is very much an achievement early in the day. Chat room is absolutely bouncing. We've got some members in there as well. Bob, Mark, Andrew, some of our members that receive the premium level content. Welcome, folks. But loads more in there as well. Nina's in. Paul is in, as is James. Anthony, we've said, is in there. Rick. Matador's in. Busy today, which is very, very good. Please get stuck in the chat room. It's a nightmare when you're on your own. It's dead hard. And if you don't get stuck in the chat room and make it a little bit of a conversation, it just becomes a mad bloke sat on his own talking about darts all day. So please get stuck in. Stone Cold Steve Austin, I'll take that. I'll take that. There are far worse things, I suppose, to be likened to than Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm just going to see if I can get. I've just become conscious that the score is missing off the bottom of this. Let's see if I can. There we go. That's better. Again, can't promise that it'll stay perfectly all the way. Josh, does all this get played today, or is it spread across a couple of days? It is all played today. Everything is played today. There are 8 spots available. So where we would normally play, a Players' Championship event, and we play to a winner. Imagine an identical format. Only once we get to the last 8, everybody goes home, and the last 8 are the de facto winners of today's event. They're not going to walk away with a trophy or anything as exciting as that, but what they are going to do is leave with the opportunity to go to Wolverhampton. Trying to fit as many games as possible onto that screen as I can. North East is represented as well. Callan Ridge currently underway against James Hurrell. James Hurrell played well yesterday. I watched him play against Darrell Gurney and he looked good. Got beat, but he looked good in doing so. He took an early lead against Callan Ridge. But Anthony, I'm afraid it's not looking good already for the North American representative here. Matt Campbell goes 2-0 down as Mickey Mansell takes an early break. At the same time, we see an early break from Luke Woodhouse in the feature game. There goes 2-0 up on Ricky Evans. Did I expect more from Scott Williams this year, given his performance at the World? I'll say yes. I did expect a little bit more from Scott Williams in that I expected him to kick on. However, I don't think it would be unfair to Scott to say that run to the semi-finals of the Worlds was sort of expected. There wasn't an awful lot of people who saw that coming and thought that that's where he was at in his career at the time. So yes, I did expect him to either maintain it or kick on a little bit. Yeah. He's not had a bad year. Well, yeah, he has actually. Bob, why did 29 players get a bypass the last 28? I have 13. Oh, Bob, if you try and pick out the detail of this, you will drive yourself mad. Obviously, we've got that format because you need to get to you have to get to a last 8. You need a bracket that fans out from that. But we are, of course, 29 players down because of the players that have already qualified through various different routes. This isn't like a Players' Championship event where we can backfill. So, we've had those players that don't play the events, and we've had Adrian Lewis not playing, and we've had Adam Smith, Neil Band, and because of that, we backfill it from the Challenge Tour. This is not the case because it's a Pro Tour or a card holder qualifier, so you've got to hold a card. 3-0 now. Matt Campbell is down. Mickey Mansell 3-0 to the good, as is Luke Woodhouse going 3-0 to the good as well. What else has happened? Ryan Joyce, the Geordie lads, mixed fortunes in the early stages as Ryan Joyce goes 2-0 up over Robbie Knops. Barry Keane 3-0 up. Interesting. Keane Barry not being in amazing form of late. If we could Barry Keane at the Slam would be a bit raw considering the year that he's had so far. If Whitlock can somehow beat Wadey, he could have a decent run. Oh, I mean, he could. We have not seen anywhere near the best of Simon Whitlock for a very long time. He looks like he's going to have to move heaven and earth to hold on to that tour card. And that is an important point that we'll pick up throughout the day, is that whilst this is the qualifier for the 2024 Grand Slam of Darts, there are some players in here who are absolutely, well, they're sailing very close to the wind with their tour card. But a spot at the Grand Slam, which guarantees $5,000. So anyone that qualifies through this qualifier, they immediately guarantee themselves $5,000 on their ranking. And that could be very, very important to, well, certainly the likes of, say, Dylan Slevin, who sits just outside. Dylan Slevin's he's 750 quid off retaining his tour card at the minute. And that £750 immediately gets completely flown by if he gets himself to the Slam through this qualifier, and then he's got a $5,000 jump. So Dylan Slevin finds himself 3-1 up at the moment over Boris Kirchmar, which could be a very, very important win. If Dylan Slevin can pick a qualifying spot today, he virtually guarantees his card. As would a few others as well. But Dylan Slevin right on the cusp. He's the closest person sat just outside that qualifying spot. Yeah, 8 is a strange number. And 8 is a strange number when players of such repute, like Dobie and like Heta, who've played incredibly well throughout the course of the year, and they've actually won things, are not there, and that they're having to go through this qualification process. Callan Riggs now, who wins outright? Well, the problem is, Daz, it's a bit picking winners today. You've got eight in one chance, haven't you? I want to pick Chris Dobie because I always pick Chris Dobie to win virtually everything. Who else do I think could go on a bit of a run? I mean, he's gone 5-0 up, so it's hard to not say Ryan Joyce as well. I could go for the Geordie lads. Do we think we could have all the Geordie lads going through, which would be pretty cool? Don't forget, folks, and I might not have pointed this out yet, we are playing to 5. So you might be used to these streams as playing to 6. You might still think Matt Campbell's got a chance as Mickey Mansell goes 5-0 up. But unfortunately, Matt Campbell's race has been ran. And that is the chance at a Grand Slam over for the Canadian. Yeah, I agree, Rob. First to 5 is a bit strange. It took me ever so slightly by surprise there. Right, I'm going to have a quick look and see if I can see on another screen here. Look at some brackets. Let's get another feature game on, though. Let's have a look and see what we want. I know I'm clicking around, and there's probably a far better way of doing this. I know that, but it's the way that I have. There's nothing really particularly early. Let's go with. I'll tell you what, Adam Gavlas is on the cusp. So he's pretty close. I flick back to the tour card qualifier. Adam Gavlas is 53. So he's still 10 grand behind. So he's going to have to do a little bit more than just qualify. But the £5,000 that he would gain onto his ranking from coming through this qualifier would be a huge step in the right direction as Jeffrey de Graaf levels up to 2. Yes, quite right, Bob. All 5-0 wins. There are bagels being served left, right, and centre in Leicester today. It's a bagel fest. Other than Florian Hempel against Owen Roloffs. who is Owen Roloffs, is the only losing player so far to get one leg on the board, and he did manage one leg. But Florian Hempel averaging 103. We haven't highlighted yet. Matt Campbell, we said, was defeated 5-0 by Mickey Mansell. It is worth noting that Mickey Mansell averaged 110 and a half, which is, I mean, he played some good stuff yesterday, Mickey Mansell, but that's wild. 110. I appreciate it's only 5 legs and he hasn't had a huge amount coming back at him. Speaking of things coming back, Callan Ridge gets a leg back on James Hurrell. 3-2 to James Hurrell in that one. Now we're underway. You'll see at the top of the screen, Danny Lorby. So just as Matt Campbell goes out, we have another North American representative getting ready to start as Danny Lorby plays Mario Vandenbohara, Super Mario. Could Barney and Aspinall qualify? They certainly both could. They certainly both could. Do I think they will? I don't think I would put either of them in my 8. I don't think. I think there'd be 8 players that I'd fancy more than those 2. Any chance Steve Beaton wins? Imagine. Oh, if Steve Beaton wins today, that will be a celebratory occasion for darts fans around the world. He actually played. He played well yesterday. If I remember rightly, he went out on a deciding leg and played really well. And he was against the darts all the way through, and the game sort of remained on throw. If I remember rightly, I watched a lot of darts yesterday, so they all blend into one a little bit. But yeah, imagine that. A run from Steve Beaton today would be epic. James Hurrell goes 1 away, 4-2 up on Callan Ridges. Dylan Slevin, that man who could secure his tour card by coming through this qualifier, 5-3 victory over Boris Kirchmar. Boris has raced his run. He will not be going to Wolverhampton. Nice facts, Sam. I like that. Evans is the highest seeded player to go out right now. He's 44th on the order of merit. Duke's 49, Camel on 51. Lovely. Adam Gavalas is having major problems getting through this leg. He's had an unbelievable start, 134, 180 ton. And then he seems to have completely fallen apart after that and missed an awful lot of darts. Well, he missed lots of darts at double. He's repeatedly bust himself. Jeffrey de Graaf had an opportunity there. Who is in danger in the World Championships? Let's have a little look. I've got an awful lot of things open now. If there's a problem with my computer, it's because I've probably got far too many tabs open. So who is in trouble? I'll tell you who is in trouble, especially after the fact that he's been beaten 5-0 is Ricky Evans, because Ricky Evans is currently in that number 32 spot of Pro Tour Order of Merit qualifiers. He's £500 ahead of Robert Owen. Ooh. That won't do. He's going to have a successful trip to Minehead. Morning, David. Yeah, it just starts correct. I don't think we've got any cameras, any stream boards. I don't think there's anything other than me. I think this is the extent of the coverage today. I don't even think anybody else is streaming it and talking about it today, or anyone that we have on the radar. James Hurrell is victorious against Callan Ridge. So we do lose one of the Northeast contingent, but Ryan Joyce keeping the dream alive with a 5-0 victory in the opening round. Warming up. We've got some interesting... Oh, that is a game. That is a game. I think once we've worked out what's going to happen between Adam Gavalas and Jeffrey de Graaf, our next feature game on screen picks itself, because the winner of Players' Championship Event 29, just a couple of days ago, Cam Menzies, is warming up against Mervyn King. Now, these are both players who I think lots and lots of fans would like to see at the Grand Slam of Darts. There are a few people that would not enjoy Mervyn King being there, and Cam Menzies is obviously one of the best supported players on the tour. It's a bit of a shame that they've drawn each other in the first round, because it would have been very nice to see both of them go on a run today. So that is, we're seeing some really good matches, some really good draws early on, but it does mean that we're losing some people that many would maybe wish at the Slam. Aaron Monk, who played some superb darts yesterday. What a day for Aaron Monk. Went on a huge run, but he finds himself behind already, losing the opening leg against Benjamin Royce. Mario van den Bohara 2-0 up on Danny Lauby with an early break. The North Americans are not having any luck at all today, as Robert Grundy, Hartlepool's own. He's literally about 6 miles. No, he's not now. He's in Leicester, but when he's at home, he's about 6 miles from me. Very local, Rob. We definitely want to see him do well. Big Willie out. I assume that's an observation on a result and not a request. Ah, yes, yeah. Board number 4, Graham Hall defeats Big Willie. Willie Borland is out. Strange thing. I thought you were going to get us banned there. We'll end up demonetized. The Barber out. Ryan Meikle. Tell you what, they are falling fast. These games of first to 5 are rapido. They are difficult to keep up with. These first to 5 games, they go very quick, and we're seeing an awful lot of heavy defeats. We've only had 2 games so far gone to a deciding leg. Graham Hall and Willie Borland and William O'Connor and Radek Sadansky, they both went to deciding legs, but a lot of these are big defeats, big victories, depending on which side of the table you're on. We are seeing, I talked a moment ago about the luck that isn't coming for the North Americans. We're seeing absolute dominance today from the Irish players. We have had 4 Irish players take to the hockey so far, and all 4 of them victorious. Barry Keane, Dylan Slevin, William O'Connor and Mickey Mansell, all getting through the first round of the Slam. Five, not 4. Is there 5? Have I missed one? Yes, sorry, Steve Lennon. There is 5 Irish players. Apologies. That's me. See, I told you, probably first to 5, lots going on at once and on your own. Normally, when we have a couple of us on the stream, we can divide up some of the responsibility. And I can look at things while someone else is talking. When I do this, I've got to talk, look, read. Too many things at once for my small brain. But yes, 5 Irish players through. Mickey Mansell, William O'Connor, Steve Lennon, Dylan Slevin and Keane Barry. I think we've got that right now. I can move on. Hopefully they all don't win the second round, so I've got to get that wrong again. Do I think Danny Noppert is one of the favourites to qualify? I think in reality you have to sort of make him one of the favourites because he's ranked number 12 in the world. So it's sort of, he has to be, doesn't he? Just in terms of his pedigree, because he's generally, well, let's be brutal, he's a better dart player than a lot of the players that are playing today. And at the same time, he's in reasonably decent, solid form because he finds himself at number 12 in the world. So he's obviously been able to find his level. So yeah, I think you've definitely, especially as well, where you've got 8 players, so he's got 8 opportunities. So does the world number 12 fit in to the top 8 slots today? You'd have to make him a favourite to do so. Brett Claydon, 5-4 victory over Joshua Richardson. Neil Sonneveld, a man who made himself very, very unpopular yesterday. There are a lot of people who weren't happy with Neil Sonneveld, who for some reason didn't get the message that everyone yesterday who was playing against Steve Beaton was supposed to forfeit the game. And he just decided he would beat him and end that prestigious career, or certainly the Pro Tour side of it, because Steve Beaton could still qualify today. Mervyn King 2-0 up. There's an early break for Merv, averaging 107, rolling back the years. Mervyn King giving himself a chance to come through to the slam. Martin Lukeman, 115 average from Lukeman, 2-0 up early breaks as we go into a deciding leg. Feature game between Adam Gavlas and Jeffrey de Graaf. It's been a good game, this, played to a reasonable standard. Danny Lorby fights his way back in. He was 2-0 down against Mario van der Mahara. Now levels that game up with a Desmond. Old Dutch clash getting underway on board number 4. Jeffrey the Swan taking on Big Vincent. It's a good game. It is a bit of a shame that we haven't got some stream boards to have a watch of today. Jacques Labre, 3-1 up on Jules Van Dongen. The Frenchman doing everything he can to try and get some French representation at the Grand Slam of Darts. Danny Lorby has won 3 on the spin, 3-2 up now. Come from 2-0 down to be 3-2 ahead. Where's Phil today? If I'm honest, I've forgot. He told me, and then he told me again last night what he had on that meant he couldn't be here today. But I can't remember. I think we're going to see him at some point. I think at some point he is going to drop on. I think it'll depend on how long the stream lasts. Yeah, I think it'll depend on how many games we get, and because we'll be done a lot earlier than normal. I think today. Obviously, we're playing to just a last 8. So that normal slog that we get at the end of the Pro Tours, where we faff around through quarters and semis, we haven't got today. We'll be finished nice and early, I think. And we're also only playing to 5 as well, which just gets games done quicker right across the board. In Derby for an exhibition. Well, yeah, I think he did say he was at an exhibition. I'm pretty sure he did. So he's probably traveling. I would have thought. I assume the exhibition's tonight. Jeffrey de Graaf, big important 140 there to get himself down to 87. So he'll get 3 darts from 87. Book himself through to the next stage of proceedings today. And he only needs 2 darts to do it. Jeffrey de Graaf, victorious. What do we want to see next? Well, I did promise it, so let's watch it. Let's see the rest of Mervyn King and Cam Menzies. Mervyn King, of course, went with a 2-0 victory, taking that early break. Cam Menzies has got a leg back on the board. But Merv King, what a visit that was. Big scores as Cam Menzies has 2 treble-less visits to open this leg. And Mervyn King punishes. He's going to get 6 darts from 80. I don't think he'll need all 6. I think Merv will get the job done in 3. Oh, he nearly did. But he's going to come back. Merv's going to come back for double 4. What else is happening? Let me try and keep on top of what's going on. Lots going on today. Who have we missed? What results have we missed? Ian White wins 5-2 over Kevin Dukes. I think we missed that one. So there's a little reminder of that one happening. Jeffrey Sparrinans and Scott Williams goes to a deciding leg. Scott Williams pulls one back, levels it up at 4-all to force the Noblers. Benjamin Royce goes 4-2 up over Aaron Monk. Aaron Monk not able to replicate the form that we saw from him yesterday. Mervyn King has faffed around with this. He had a huge leg, but if he doesn't get rid of double 1 here, Cam Menzies is going to... Oh, he doesn't. Cam Menzies comes back. He's going to come back for double 8 for an opportunity to pinch a leg that he's got absolutely no right winning. Cam Menzies went an absolute mile behind, and he does it. It takes him 3 darts to do so, but Menzies breaks through and levels up after Mervyn King misses. How many was that? 6, 9? How many darts at double did he miss there? 2 bloody many. Too many if he wants to beat Cam Menzies, who opens with a 140. Yes, so just for those who have either joined us a little bit late or not quite sure on the format of today, we are playing today Qualifier. Scott Williams out. Scott Williams will not be at the Grand Slam. Jeffrey Sparrinans beats him 5-4, comes through that deciding leg. So yeah, format for today as Jules Van Dongen levels up. Jack Labra was 3-1 up. It's 3-all in that game. Now you can see on your screen. We are playing for 8 qualification spots, which means we've got a bracket similar to how we normally would for something like a Players' Championship event. Only when we get to the final 8, we stop, pack up and all go. We're not playing for a victory. There won't be a winner as such today, making that final 8. So you're just really playing very small. It's like there are 8 little small tournaments going on, each with a prize of a place at the Grand Slam. Martin Lukeman, 5-1, big victory there. Martin averaging 103. He is off to the kind of start that he will have wanted. Got a deciding leg in the game between Karel Selacek and Richard Veenstra. That is 4-all. Any big names in today, Roger? It depends who you classify as a big name, I suppose. They're all tour card holders, so you could argue that these are big name players. Biggest ones, I mean, Raymond van Barneveld is there, Chris Dobie's there, Damon Heta, Danny Noppert. Big players. Gerwyn Price. Some might consider him a big player. Some may. Dirk van Dijvenbode warming up as Danny Lauby comes from behind. What? Was it a brilliant performance, or did Mario van den Bohara fall off a cliff? I'm not quite sure there. Danny Lauby, however, after a rough start for the North Americans, books his place through to the next round. As Jules Van Dongen goes within 1, he's come from behind as well. 4-3 up now, Jules Van Dongen over Jacques Labra as Cam Goffin goes ahead of Rob Grundy. Grundy averaging 92. He's doing lots and lots of good things, but can't quite get the result that he needs. Yeah, Johnny Clayton as well. There's loads of big names in. I've got so many screens. There's so many games going on at once. I'm trying to read the chat room and I'm on my own. I'm going to miss loads. If we can all just accept but I will do my best. Shit, James Wade, like, we're in enough trouble as it is. Now, like, James Wade, and he's a big name. He's very important. Have to make sure we squeeze that in. Robert Owen 4-0 up. Robert Owen is one of these players as well that is right on the cusp, playing, if I remember rightly, for his tour card. Let me have a roll down. Or is he? Oh, no, he's not. He's just Robert Owen's right outside. See, too much going on at once. Robert Owen sits just outside Ricky Evans in the qualification spots for the World Championships.
Oi, oi!
Hello. You all right?
How are we all?
Yes, it's all good. It's all good, mate. There's, I suppose, I'm not going to go with. We haven't yet had a what you would call a massive surprise. Callan Ridd's out in the first round to James Hurrell. Ricky Evans, Scott Williams. We haven't seen. I don't want to use the word big names because we've had that debate. But we haven't seen what you would consider as the seeds. We haven't seen yet. So whilst we've seen a couple of bigger players leave in the first round, we haven't seen any tragic shocks. But there could be a tragedy unfolding, or it could be a rather special story because we're just underway in the first top 64 game. Danny Noppert and Steve Beaton.
So interesting. Wasn't Scott Williams defending a decent chunk of money from 2 years ago at the Grand Slam? Or was that 3? I know he had a good run at the Grand Slam. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 years ago.
It was 3.
Was it 3?
Yeah, well, I've just flicked back there, 2022 Slam, and he wasn't in the second round.
Right, okay. Because remember Jeff Humphreys the fingers.
$8K. Yeah, he played really well in the round robin, averaged 107. Big monster performance, but then couldn't carry it on through the tournament. Zonneveld out. There'll be a few people that will think he's had that coming after what he did yesterday. Ruthlessly terminating the day for Steve Beaton. Cam Menzies victorious. Mervyn King started off really well, going 2-0 up. Cam Menzies rattles off 5 on the spin, really elevated his game there. Got that done.
How are we doing, everyone? How are we doing, James? Hope you are good, mate. No, Adam, I'm not. Sam, Phil pulling a Gezi and appearing out of nowhere. I did warn you all yesterday that I'd been told that it wasn't a foregone conclusion that Gezi wouldn't be there. I had a little bit of prior warning, not from Gezi, by the way, either, through someone else.
Tell you what, we're making rapid progress today. These first to 5 games seem to rattle through very quickly. As James, speaking of rattling through quickly, James Wade finds himself on 24 with Simon Whitlock all the way back on 315. 1 dart needed only for James Wade. Rob Grundy goes to a deciding leg with Callum Goffin. How's that one starting off? Oh, it's not good for Grundy. 2 treble-less visits to start, but Callum Goffin finds a 180. 171 from Grundy. Starts to try and give himself a chance. As Simon Whitlock opens with a big max. Follow out, Simon. Oh, with a 40. Not ideal. Not ideal.
Yellow Clarkson 2-0 up on Ricardo Pietrezcu. Johnny Clayton 1-0 up on Madders Rasma. That's a tricky tie, Rasma. That is.
It's a really tricky one. Yeah, absolutely. He's fallen slightly unlucky with that draw there, as you could argue has Nathan Rafferty, who gets underway against Ryan Searle. I think there are a lot of people predicting Ryan Searle playing his way through this qualifier.
Also, yeah, no prize money involved today. The prize is getting to the Grand Slam,
which Jeffrey the Swan has just moved himself one step closer to. Rob Grundy wins. Hartlepool's own Rob Grundy gets through the noble leg. Brilliant stuff. Although there's a local derby. I think he's about to play Ryan Joyce in the next round. Ooh. Very much a local derby. But it means that I'm guaranteed at least one North East player through after that if those two play each other. As a PDC, and when is the draw, Phil?
The draw is Monday because we will not know the final spot until Sunday when the Challenge Tour concludes.
Ah, of course. Jamie Hughes off to a flyer, 3-0 up on Adam Warner. Warner averaging just 77. Nathan Aspinall. That's not the easiest draw in the world as well. Nathan Aspinall starting off against Jim Williams. Jim, we know, has got a game in him. We still aren't convinced where Asp's game is at the moment as Johnny Clayton takes an early break.
No, that's a tough one, that is. That's real tough.
It is, isn't it? It's not the way you would want to start something as important as this. But how you would want to start is exactly how Nathan Rafferty has, as he goes 2-0 up and takes a break over Ryan Searle. That would be an upset, wouldn't it? Or I think we'd be happy saying that is an upset if Nathan Rafferty bosses Ryan Searle out in the first round today.
Rob, we don't know. Excuse me, we don't know yet. We haven't been given any information as of yet. So as soon as I know, I will let you know. But we've had no correspondence yet about it. Yes, Kevin Gowen prize is in.
I think he is warming up as we lunging and stretching. About to play Jeroen van der Velde. Joe Cullen against Kim Huybrechts.
It's a big game for both.
It is, but if you're Kim Huybrechts and you've got to draw, let's say, one of the big boys today, Cullen's probably the one you'd have, isn't it? Above, you'd much rather have him than many of the others at the moment, the way that he's playing. Nathan Rafferty 3-0 up now. There's an awful lot of work to do here for Ryan Searle, especially as we're only playing first to 5.
Oh, 100%. There's a lot of work to do there.
And he's only averaging 81, so he's a bloody long way from it. James Wade averaging 109.
It's very good.
Simon Whitlock's averaging 54, which is not. It is not. Which is not at all.
No, he should be doing better than that.
Well, 54 in this leg. I think his overall average is 69, which, is still very far from what he, pretty much anybody else, would expect from him.
Is Danny Noppert joining the list?
The twat list of the week. Oh, it's daytime, right? Never mind. Beep. Yeah, Danny Noppert. Yeah, you are going to be an unpopular man in that room today if you beat Steve Beaton. Neil Sonneveld yesterday, I don't think could find anyone to buy him a pint. And today, Danny Noppert could be in the same boat as he goes 3-1 up on Steve Beaton. Madas Razma goes 2 on the spin to level up with Johnny Clayton. That game is now a Desmond. I'm trying to keep everything in the same screen. It's a challenge. James Wade's playing some very nice darts. He's faffed around a little bit at the end of this leg, but way ahead of Simon Whitlock. He takes that double 10 out with 1 dart for him to go within 1. Chris Landman and Dom Taylor go to a deciding leg. 4 all there. This is too easy for James Wade. He's got a Dan Simpson-esque average coming back from him, back at him from Simon Whitlock, averaging 68. And Ryan Searle is in huge, huge trouble. 4-0 down in a race to 5. Ryan's going to have to win 5 on the bounce or he is done.
And look, I don't mean this as a disrespect to Nathan Rafferty, but a tournament without Searle is a disappointment.
Because, yeah, absolutely. But he hasn't won anything. He hasn't made a final. So he has to go through this torture. Jamie Hughes and Lee Evans both victorious as we're just getting those final few results in that opening round over and done with. And then really we're in the business end because we've then got all the players involved. All the buys are done with for the day.
I know you think different, Dan, but I genuinely hope they change the qualifying criteria tomorrow for next year.
And so would you have a firm almost sort of part of the qualification that if you win a pro tour, you're in? Or would you just go to pro tour winners before you go to qualifiers and shorten the amount of qualifiers there is?
So me personally, I've got no issue with every TV winner being in. Even the World Cup, I've got no issue with that. But then I want winners to be in. So Euro Tours first, then Pro Tours. Then if there's spaces, TV runner-ups. And yes, look, I think 8 is too much. I would only have 4 qualifiers.
Yeah, I think 4's. I mean, I just say I don't. It's not so much the. It's not that I don't agree with the changes. I just think I like the idea that what this tournament is and what it's constructed of is that you know if you get to a final, if you have that big run on the TV in front of a crowd, so that's what you get. You get into the slam. But yeah, I'm totally fine with having a few less qualifiers and as long as we're rewarding people playing good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like radical changes, but for me, runners-up should be winners should come before runners-up, regardless of TV.
I'm just waiting for our next feature game because, of course, it's going to be board number 15. So we're just warming up on board 15. And as soon as we're underway, then it will be our feature. We can all enjoy it together. As Ryan Searle does not enjoy his time today. And he gets whitewashed 5-0 by Nathan Rafferty. If you pick that on your ACCA, you're a clever and braver man than I.
Look, now there'll be a lot of people that have qualified happy that Ryan Searle isn't there.
Without a doubt. And this is it. If you're a qualifier, if you've already booked your place at the Slam, then let's be honest, you want some very strange and rogue results today, don't you? You want people who've done absolutely nothing for a year to turn up and bash up all the seeds because you don't want some of these lads turning up to the Slam because some of these lads could win it.
100%.
The fight back is on. The fight back is on. Steve Beaton. I tell you what, let's have that. let's have that on while we wait for board 15 to get underway, because it's taken longer than I'd hoped. But let's just see, because Danny Noppert is trebleless. Throw him for the match here, Danny Noppert, but he cannot find a treble in his opening visit. If Steve Beaton can break him here, he'll throw for the match. And wouldn't that be something? Owen Bates, 3-1 up in what I think is the last opening round game. Madas Razma one away from putting the ferret out. Razma 4-3 up. That would be a big shock. That would be another big shock, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And again, but if you are one of the big boys that's already qualified, you are not going to be shedding too many tears about Johnny Clayton not being at the Slam, because again, Johnny Clayton is a player that has it in him to either go on a big run, put you out, or even win. Steve Beaton, 140, ton. Danny Noppert has lost all of his trebles in this leg. He can't find his scoring boots. Oh, it's a huge 180, though, from Danny Noppert. Steve Beaton, 3 darts to get rid of 80 to force a deciding leg in which Steve Beaton would have the darts. It takes him 3 darts. He gets there. Could it happen? After yesterday, could Steve Beaton qualify himself for the Grand Slam? What a result that would be. Deciding leg with Steve Beaton on throw. Gerwin Price 4-0 up on Jeroen van der Velde. Joe Cullen 3-0 up on Kim Huybrechts, averaging 102.5. This is not what we're used to seeing from Joe Cullen of late. Madas Razma does it. He beats Johnny Clayton, takes out 25. The ferret will not be at the Slam.
That's a disappointment. Right, so I'm just looking at things. Potentially, the world number 5, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 16, 17, all not there. Do you want to put the screen up a little bit, mate, so we can see the last 1, 2, 8 games?
Ah, yes, sorry. Well called. There we go. That just about fits. 108. Oh, he's missed a dart for it. Danny Noppert, 71 to break the hearts of dart fans across the country. The world even, and he does it. Takes him 3. Danny Noppert ruins everybody's day. Steve Beaton will not be at the Slam. Danny Noppert might be.
Joe Cullen averaging nearly 102. Where has this come from?
Yeah.
Tim Huybrechts.
This is something we haven't seen a lot of late from Joe Cullen, but he is absolutely brushing Kim Huybrechts aside here, making excellent progress. Andy Barton's, there's some odd timings, I think, that we're still getting started. That is Patrick Gearts is really struggling, but Owen Bates goes within 1-4-2 up. Owen Bates, who was the answer to a quiz question on QI recently, where they were guessing nicknames of sportsmen, and of course the Master came up. Nice to see darts breach occasionally into the mainstream.
Or now it should be the artist formerly known as the Master.
Yeah, the artist, he is no longer the Master when on official PDC duties anyway. I'm sure he remains the Master elsewhere. Joe Cullen 5-0. 107 average. Must have had a massive final leg there.
Yeah, that's some performance from the rock star. Also, Dirk van Dijvenbode is on the verge of elimination. He's looking set to level it up, but he will have to break Danny Van Tripe. There's 11 points in the averages, and Dirk is up against it.
I tell you, that game that I think we both agreed looked like a tough game ahead of things getting started. But Nathan Aspinall and Jim Williams, 3-all. That is on a knife edge, that game. Jose de Souza gets her leg back. Damon Hector not being there would be a big shock, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would just feel strange to not have him at a big major TV tournament.
180 from Van Tripe has made this interesting because now Dirk's under a little bit of pressure here. If this doesn't go, Van Tripe could win it. But Dirk takes it out. We are going to the last leg decider. And now the pressure is on Van Tripe. Dan Littler's already qualified, mate. I'll tell you what else I'd be interested to see. And I'm not being disrespectful here to anyone who qualifies, but I'll be interested to see the TV numbers if all these big name players aren't there.
Well, we've seen recently, very recently, we've seen some strange, lineups of semi-finalists. European Championships was a let's be honest, that was a strange semi-final lineup. But
that's one day. This is whoever qualifies. This is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I suppose that's a good point. This is the entire tournament rather than just one session of it, isn't it?
Correct. Look, it might not make a difference, but I'd like to see Van Tripe has found another maximum from nowhere to get himself back favourite in this leg, unless Van Dijvenbode can match it. And he leaves a finish. But Van Tripe will think he's got 6 darts at 176. Van Dijvenbode is on the big fish. Can he win it in some style? 170 to go through.
Nathan Aspinall finds himself a leg away from going out of this qualifier, but finds a max, hits a 180 after Jim Williams has a treble-less visit to make himself favourite to force a deciding leg. Well, that would be a deciding leg in which Jim Williams had the darts. So Nathan Aspinall with a huge amount of work to do. Dirk van Dijvenbode is out. And they are starting to tumble a little bit now, aren't they? We seem to be having 10, 15 minutes here where we are starting to see some very, very big names. Ryan Searle, Johnny Clayton, Dirk van Dijvenbode. Nathan Aspinall is right up against it. Daryl Gurney is behind. Nathan Aspinall has managed to throw a visit of 5.
Jim Williams Brown is 2-1 up on Chris Dobie. This could be a very rogue set of 8 qualifiers.
Honestly, we are having 10 minutes here where things aren't going to plan. Nathan Aspinall needs to take out 110. And if he doesn't, Jim Williams has got 3 darts at double 16 to put Nathan Aspinall out. Yeah, Aspinall owning 58, leaves 52. Jim Williams, 3 darts for 32. If this 32 goes, Nathan Aspinall also out in his opening game today. Hasn't won a game. Hasn't even come close. Jim Williams doesn't. He doesn't. He leaves 8. Aspinall comes back for 52.
Yeah, Aspinall is defending runners-up money. Lost to Michael Smith.
Nathan Aspinall takes the 52 out. So we now have a noble. We have a deciding leg in which Jim Williams will have the darts.
Scam. I get the point that real darts fans will watch, and 100% they will. But since the Worlds, it's that casual audience that has boosted the sport to another level. Now, my worry is, are those casual fans that, look, we still need them, are those casual fans going to tune in and watch Mike Ivanhoven, Michele Toretta?
Those that are flicking through Sky Sports.
Are they going to stop and get involved on social if we get a shocker of a group or something like that that's got one seed and three unknowns? That's my worry, that the casual fan will switch off from this tournament. It's all right saying who cares if they tune in, but you need that audience to get yourself to the next level, because those casuals get involved, watch it, and become fans. As you say, real darts fans aren't going to go anywhere, but that just then stagnates if you don't get new blood in watching.
Jim Williams, 100, 140, 121. This is how you throw. Oh, but then at 28. I was about to say, this is how you throw for the match. And then he hoys a 28 in. But Aspinall back on 207 is going to need a massive visit here. He opened with a 180, but then two trebleless visits followed. 133 for Aspinall takes him to 74. Jim Williams comes for 112. Aspinall will probably think he's likely to get a go at that 74. But Jim Williams can only throw 40. So Aspinall will get a go at 74. I tell you what, if he's got away with one here if he comes through this match. If he pings this, and he does in 3 darts. So Nathan Aspinall he always makes it a battle. He finds a way to make it a battle, doesn't he?
That's big. That is big for Nathan Aspinall.
And he gets the win, and that is all that matters today. That is all that matters. There we are.
Yeah, big moments there from Nathan Aspinall. Going Price is also through. Chris Dobie is in some trouble here. He's just been broken again.
Yeah, he's toying with.
This would be a disaster if Hollywood doesn't make it after winning 3 Pro Tours.
He's toying with him. Don't worry. It's all good. The Swan, Jeffrey the Swan, 3-0 up on Graham Hall, averaging 110. 110. The look of the Irish continues. Keane Barry, 4-0 up on Danny Lowby.
Yeah. Bungie, DeJuan did this the other day, was 4-0 up, averaging 112 or something, and then ended up losing with a 92. The drop was ridiculous. Now, Andrew, I agree you can't cater for plastic fans, but also that those plastic fans that get involved increase revenue, increase sponsorships as well. So look, I'm not saying that we cater for them, but I'm just saying I'm interested to see what effect it has, because you think ever since those casual viewers from the World Championship have come in and increased sponsorship and everything like that. So it does have a knock-on effect.
We've just seen a monstrous performance. Ross Smith, 5-0 victory over Adam Hunt. As Chris Dobie breaks, nobody can hold their darts in this match. I told you he was toying with him. Gets the break, levels it up 3-all.
Nicholas, yes, this is what if it's the same as last year. Again, we haven't been told anything any differently, but this is one of the flaws of the system, that the pots for the draw are then seeded, which I completely disagree with.
Yeah,
These 8 qualifiers should all be in the same pot.
correct. Yeah,
and so on like this. So yeah, if Gezi comes through, he will then be in pot 1, where that's wrong because he's come through the same way as Michele Toretta. They should be in the same pot. They've come through the same way.
Yeah, that makes absolute sense, doesn't it? And it's frustrating that it isn't the case.
Martin Lukeman is a 5-1 winner.
He's flying, isn't he? God, this guy, I don't know what has happened on board number 2. But I cannot work out how some boards are pretty much through at the last 32, and we're still not done. Florian Hempel, 5-2 winner over Benjamin Royce.
Sam, not confirmed, but we haven't heard anything different. So where we haven't heard anything different, we're assuming it's the same as it has been in years gone by. Like, I hope it changes.
Massive visit that from Keegan Brown. Not quite as big from Chris Dobie, but Dobie's going to get 2 chances to pick a leg up and win. The Swan is winning 4-1. And it continues on board 2. 4-all between Bartons and Tricoles. Keen Barry, 5-1 victory. And Michele Toretta, that's a shock. 5-2 victory over Andrew Gilding. Toretta is still in with a chance.
Robert Owen 2-0 up on William O'Connor. O'Connor had a good 2 days on the Pro Tour. When
Chris Dobie takes out the 61, we might go to that game next, I think, because there's a bit of interest for that one in the chat room. Oh, sorry, everyone. No, we won't. I know exactly what we'll watch next. And I'm in control of the mouse today. And if you've watched me on any stream ever, you can look at that list of ongoing games and you'll know exactly what I'm about to put on. As soon as Chris Dobie hits double 10 and books his place in the next round, which he does there, of course, only needs 1 dart to do so, because it's Chris Dobie. And then we'll come back to the northeast. Straight back to the northeast as Ryan Joyce and Rob Grundy. Mickey Mouse 3-0 up on Barney.
Tricole has beaten the beast. Thibaut Tricole, 5-4 winner over Andy Bartons. Dan, 8 spots, mate.
So we've got a 100% record from French players today. We are yet to see a Frenchman lose a match. We haven't seen anyone from Hartlepool lose a match either. But wouldn't it be great if we could get through the day with that being the case? Ian White 3-0 up on Richard Veenstra. Ian White averaging 102.5. What's happened? Where is Ian White going next, Phil? Like, he feels like we're at a bit of a crossroads, doesn't it? Where is there time? Is there the game for one last big hurrah? Or do you think it's trending downwards?
I still think it's trending the wrong way for me.
Oh, yeah. Jacques Labre lost. Sorry about that.
Mark,
There's Africa. It's ages since you know what happened. The worst thing that happened to me doing these streams is the flicking to bloody weekdays. So it's very rare. I think it must be 18 months since I've done one of these. And you do find yourself getting out of the habit of it a little bit. Lots going on.
That's interesting. Ryan Searle on social media didn't want to be here today, and I think it showed. Laugh out loud.
I'm sure won something, didn't he? Speaking of people who've won something, Jeffrey Sparrowdance wins. Luke Woodhouse. Again, that wouldn't have been where I would have put my 50 pence before that game got started. I would not have picked Jeffrey Sparrowdance to beat Luke Woodhouse at this stage of proceedings. Today, Matty Dennant 3-0 up on Graham Usher. A long way back from 3-0 down on a first of 5. It is a longer way back. Even if you are a 5-time world champion, as Raymond van Barneveld finds himself 4-0 behind Mickey Mansell, averaging 102. Where has this come from?
Also, Jeffrey Dejuan is a 5-2 winner. Cameron Menzies 2-0 up. Robert Owen 3-1 up on William O'Connor. Ratajski, George Killington, DeGraff, Jamie Hughes, Claydon, Lee Evans warming up.
There is some potential for some very unexpected names to find themselves on the bus to Wolverhampton, isn't there? Here?
Yeah.
Big fish for Mickey Mansell for a 5-0 whitewash. Can he take... Oh, can he reel it in? Matty Dennant goes 4-0 up on Graham Usher. Cam Menzies also 3-0 up on Steve Lennon. We're having lots of big, wide leads in this leg. Mickey Mansell hits the ton. Leaves himself 70, which he will come back for if him. Oh, I think Barney's just missed a dart for a 160 checkout. But Mickey Mansell comes back for 70. And if he takes this 70 out, that means he'll have won 5-0, 5-0. Mickey Mansell yet to lose a leg today. Oh, he can't. Can't take the 70 out. Looks like he's come inside double top. Raymond van Barneveld comes back for double 10, which he takes out. So Mickey Mansell loses his first leg of the day, but at 4-1 up, you've got to assume that it's only a matter of time. But surely only a matter of time for Barney. Nick Kenny averaging 113 casual. It's a big leg from Ryan Joyce here. 36 left after 9. We see a 10-dart leg. Rob Grundy a mile behind, but he is winning 2-1 in this match.
Big result from Matt Dennant. Big performance as well.
Huge. Huge, that. Oh, it takes Ryan Joyce 3 darts to get it done, but he does break Rob Grundy to level up. We have a Desmond in the Northeast Derby. And yes, it looks like we went 5 out of 5 with the Irish lads in the first round. It is not looking like it's going to be 5 out of 5 through this round either, because Cam Menzies is 4-0 up on Steve Lennon. Playing well as well, Cammy, averaging 100. Big opening visit there from Rob Grundy against the darts, punishing that trebleless visit from Ryan Joyce. again, no trouble for Joyce. I'll tell you what, the Irish are not having any luck at all here as Robert Owen goes 4-2 up on William O'Connor after an amazing opening round. It is Mickey Mansell who now is just flying the Irish flag. I'm not even sure he's flying the right one. Richard Veenstra levels up with Ian White. There we go. Another one back on the board for Barney. This would be some comeback, wouldn't it?
Would be.
Come back from 4-0 down and a race to 5, but he started this leg with back-to-back tons, and then he's gone ton 140 in fact. So Raymond van Barneveld looking likely here. Robert Owen one away. Rob Grundy breaks again. What a funny old game this has been on a feature game. Break after break after break. Robert Grundy finds himself 2 legs away. Now that Rob Grundy at the Grand Slam of darts would be wild.
Yeah, that's almost as wild as Graham Usher qualifying for the World Series finals.
Like, it's wild, isn't it? Every now and again, darts throws you up a strange and unusual happening. And I definitely think we've got a few in store today. I'm convinced. And we get closer as well because we're now warming up in the round of 32. Which means Matty Dennett's potentially just 2 games away. Mickey Mansell. Yeah, go on.
Barney.
Mickey Mansell has played absolutely superb 2 games on the spin today. He's played some really, really good darts. Jules Van Dongen and Owen Bates. That is a round of 64 game, though. That's not... We're getting a bit messed up in the... I think some of these... We had so many games that went rapido. 5-0, 5-0, 5-0. Some of the boards are flying ahead.
See, the prelim round should have been played first.
Ian White out. Got off to a superb start against Richard Veenstra. Veenstra rattles off leg after leg after leg, and he's a 5-3 victor. Ian White will not be going to Wolverhampton to the Grand Slam of darts. Nick Kenny gets closer, 4-2 ahead. And this would be big from Rob Grundy. Could we see something this wide? Could he get all the way through not hitting a treble? Oh, he's got one there, 99. Then take out 167. That'll be cool. Cool but unlikely, I'm afraid. Yeah, 55 again, another troublous visit. So Ryan Joyce 68 to level this up for another break of throw. We're just exchanging break of throw after break of throw after break of throw in this one. And he does. Ryan Joyce takes it out 3-3, levels it up. Madders Rasma and Barry Keane. That's an interesting one in the round of 32, warming up on board number 1. Oh, that's brutal. That is brutal. I've just realised that we're getting Nathan Aspinall against Cam Menzies in the next round. Which means one of them isn't going to be in Wolverhampton for certain. We can say now for definite one of Cam Menzies or Nathan Aspinall will not make it. Big 180 start from Rob Grundy against the darts. Ryan Joyce, oh, he does. I say if he doesn't get a big visit here, then we could find yet another break of throw in this game. But the minute Ryan Joyce still looking favourite, Dylan Slevin gets one back. Is he just delaying the inevitable though? Rob Grundy will get a shot at 1-2-1 to try and bag yet another break of throw in this game. Not. This would be monstrous if this 1-2-1 goes. It would be huge. The people of Hartlepool will be in the streets celebrating.
Some interesting ties, some interesting developments.
We've got a couple of Desmonds, Jeffrey de Graaf and Jamie Hughes. Jamie Hughes takes back-to-back legs to tie that game up 2-2. Same as Brett Claydon and Lee Evans. Ryan Joyce finally holds a leg. Somebody holds in this one, but Rob Grundy is going to need now to get at him because you cannot make a mistake from here if you are Rob Grundy. You've got no more legs in hand.
No, Johnny Clayton will not be at the Grand Slam. He is out, lost to Madders Rasma.
He might still be there. He might have a ticket.
Can't see it somehow, but you never know.
Not going to go and watch. Oh, dear. Dylan Slevin fighting back. But it's too little, too late. And Nick Kenny takes out 32 and moves through to the next round. Dylan Slevin will not be going to Wolverhampton. A little bit of a lull here. We've got a few, just a little slow down in games getting underway. It's just that crossover between rounds, I think.
Yeah. How are we doing, Ben? Hope you are good.
What a leg from Rob Grundy. Do you think Price will make the last 8? Tell me who he's playing next. Let me have a look. I think so much today depends on your draw. Like, let's be brutal. And so his next game is against Robert Owen, which you've got to make him a heavy favourite for.
You would, but Owen can produce. We've seen it.
But then he has the potential to bump into Mickey Mansell, Jules Van Dongen, or Owen Bates. You've got to make him a very heavy favourite. A very heavy favourite, I think.
Yeah,
it would be be a huge surprise to me.
He's ended up in a nice section of the draw.
Yeah. Not like Nathan Aspinall and Cam Menzies.
Correct.
But we are now underway in the top 32. We're motoring through 27 minutes past 1. And we're in, and some of these guys are going to be a game away.
We'll take that all day long.
Yeah, we are cooking on gas today. We're flying. See, the thing is as well, is my assumption is today, there'll be absolutely none of this, like slowing everything down so that all the next round, which we often see in the quarterfinals, don't we, of a Players' Championship, they'll pause everybody and then send all the quarterfinals off at the same time. My assumption today is they're just going to be rattling through and packing things up as they go. Like, as a board finishes, there's going to be people with screwdrivers and drills taking things apart.
Yeah, 100%.
Because this is it done for the year, isn't it? Everything's folded up, getting packed away. See you next year.
Oh no, this is the Challenge Tour. There is the Challenge Tour in Leicester. So if so, it will be up till Monday.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I thought. Yeah. Oh, well, there must be in Leicester. They're not going to go anywhere else, are they? Between now and then, must be. Nathan Rafferty and Martin Lukeman closing in on a spot. Hendy is in the chat, one of our members at Online Darts. We're in a deciding leg here in a feature game. The Tyne Tees Derby. That's a big visit from Ryan Joyce, getting down to 96. Rob Grundy back on 220. He needs a huge visit here, Rob Grundy, at least 2 trebles, putting some pressure on that 96. It's a 140 minimum here. £100, so down to 120, not the pressure he would want. We're now underway in a batch. Top 32 games. Joe Cullen against Jeffrey the Swan. Danny Noppert against Jeffrey Sparrowdowns, and Madders Rasma against Barry Keane, all underway.
Yeah, Hendy, there's loads of big names that have gone. How are we doing, John from Pittsburgh? Hope you are good, mate. Connor, don't know, haven't sorted out yet, but we'll have one before the Worlds.
Go on, Rob. Oh. Well done, Rob. The time comes out on top as Ryan Joyce, 5-4 winner over Rob Grundy. Where do we fancy next? Where do we think for our...
James Wade?
Yes, let's have a bit of James Wade against Florian Hempel. Let's have that. Oh, just in time for him to open up with a max. James Wade finds a 180. James Wade will come through this, won't it? Like James, I think I would be very shocked if James Wade didn't qualify. So have a little quick look at the route that he might take. So could be Kelly Torretta, could be Brett Claydon, could be Lee Evans. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to make James Wade a heavy favourite to pick up a qualification spot. This is potentially, on paper at least, the toughest match he'll have to get there. Price certainly did rock up, Tommy, and he looks good value for it at the minute. Gerwin Price, definitely one of the favourites to come through this. as the Swan. Jeff, what is Jeffrey the Swan had for his breakfast today? Averaging 115 now, 2-0 up on Joe Cullen. Where has this come from? Monster performances. All Welsh clash warming up there. There's a few in the chat room asking about Gezi Price. Just warming up on board 13 against Rob Owen. And there is a biggie warming up that game. Undoubtedly the pick of the round of 23, Nathan Aspinall against Cameron Menzies. Any big names not gone to the qualifier? Well, once we knew that Gezi Price had turned up, I think that's pretty much everyone, isn't it? Other than those that miss everything. You know, we know we're missing Adam Smith-Neil and Adrian Lewis, and there are tour card holders that aren't attending events, but I think virtually everybody else has found their way to Leicester.
Yeah.
Hope. Deciding leg between Jeffrey de Graaf and Jamie Hughes. Jamie Hughes is managing to just stay within reach, and he's got to a deciding leg, and from that point, anything can happen. Joe Cullen is going to need something to happen, and something to happen very quickly, because he's 3-0 down now to the Swan. Sadly not, Josh. Rob Grundy was beaten in a deciding leg by Ryan Joyce in a Tyne-Tees derby. 5-4 he lost, I'm afraid. You might be right, Sam. However, because we know one of them will come through that game, we know we're guaranteed Aspinall or Menzies in the next round, and they'll probably make a decent feature game for the next round, whichever one of them does come through. Lukeman keeping that average up, 107.5, 3-1 ahead. Top performance today from Smash.
Yeah, Owen Bates 3-1 up on Jules Van Dongen currently. Christoph Ratajski 4-3 up on George Killington. No, Max, there's never any streaming boards for qualifiers, mate.
No, this is it, I'm afraid. This is all you got.
It's us or nothing.
Yeah. my very, very basic IT skills dragging things around in that window, trying to get the games on. There is undoubtedly, I would imagine, far better ways of doing it, but it's on the screen. It's working. 4-1 now, Martin Lukeman, who actually lifts that average up to 100, just shy of 111. There are 8 spots, Rob, 8 spots available. Whether you agree with that or not is another matter, but there are 8 places on the bus to Wolverhampton. 8 seats empty. Brendan Dolan, 5-3 win over Dom Taylor. Brendan Dolan is a man who just seems to often find his way into playing in everything, doesn't he? We don't see those big moments from him as much, and we don't see him going as deep as maybe we have previously, but tends to just keep making sure he's there. Brett Claydon wins 5-4 over Lee Evans. We're starting to just draw to a close now in these top 64 games. Final couple going on.
Gerwyn Price 2-0 up in the Welsh battle. Remember, he is the king of Aldersley normally. James Wade averaging a shade under 105 is 3-0 up. The machine is in the mood.
He is, but there's very little coming back at him as well. Florian Hempel averaging just 73. So whilst James Wade is playing superb, there is no pressure on him. He can just sort of come to the hockey and do what he wishes. Nathan Aspinall's on an absolute stinker of an opening leg. He's averaging somewhere around the Dan Simpson level of darts because his average starts with a 5. Menzies 115. He's come out flying. He's come out fast in that game. And he's maintained that 115 average as he goes 2-0 up and breaks Nathan Aspinall, who after 2 legs is still averaging just 63. The Asp is having an absolute nightmare, and this is not the game. It's too short a format to have to play you into these matches as well, isn't it? All of a sudden, you're too, if it takes you a couple of legs to get going, you're 2 legs away from defeat.
I still think the qualifiers, including the Euro Tours as well, should be the same as the Pro Tour.
I agree. I don't know what they get. I don't know why. Like, I don't understand what is gained from making it 5. Other than everyone gets home in time for tea. That's, you're not playing to a finish. Everyone puts their coat on once we get to the last 8, and you're bringing that further forward in the day. So whether it is just an early knockoff for everybody, I don't know. Matty Dennant breaks Gabriel Clemens to go 2-0 up. Now, Matthew Dennant would be a rogue qualifier.
Yeah, he's not had the impact on tour he would probably want this year. But to get to the slam, look, doing the world of good. But yeah, it would be rogue. I'll tell you what, Cullen's battling hard, and Dejuana's flopped here from averaging 108 at 2-0 to 83 and 3-all.
It's the momentum in that game has very much swung in favour of the Rockstar, hasn't it?
Just TAM and European qualifiers. It's not that. Yes, look, the Slam is that format, but all PDC qualifiers are best of 9.
Yeah, it's not specific.
I get the point that it mirrors it, but all the PDC qualifiers are best of 5. I'm sorry, first to 5 normally, unless I've got it wrong, which is known.
Really?
Once or twice.
Oh, fair enough. Well done for running up to it. Gerwyn Price is brushing people aside in his route to the Grand Slam. Was there ever really a doubt? Is anyone still in doubt that Gerwyn Price is going to be at the Slam?
He was just going to do what the Iceman does, isn't it? Don't do the Pro Tours, rock up and go to the Slam.
Yeah, it's easy, isn't it? You just turn up and win this, don't you?
Right, Cameron Menzies.
Have
the Euro Tour qualifiers gone up? Because they always used to be best of 5. But again, regardless of whether it's the format of the Slam, for a qualifier for a ranked major, I still think it's too short. The point's the same. I think it's too short.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, I mean, it is rapid. But if you don't come out flying, you're in bother quick. Nathan Aspinall averages 66 for 3 legs, and he's now very, very close to packing up and going home.
So Jules Van Dongen from 3-1 down is now level with Owen Bates. James Wade, bagel served a 102.94 average for the machine. Sends Florian Hempel home with a 144 finish.
Noppert 5-1. We are just seeing whilst we've seen some upsets and some big players going out, there are others who are just playing their way through the bracket and getting closer and closer.
Some people are just king of qualifiers, aren't they? It's just what they do.
Oh, Martin Lukeman averaging 104, just shy of 5-3 victory. Moves himself a win away. Martin Lukeman is one victory away from the Grand Slam of darts.
Menzies is on the verge of knocking the Asp out. Joe Cullen will also not be at the Grand Slam.
Well, that's a naughty one. Damon Heta and Ryan Joyce.
Oh.
Damon Heta will not have been happy. You know, there's some of these players, and again, with the greatest of respect, there's some of these seeded players, and you look at their bracket of what they'll have to beat and who they'll have to beat to make the last 8. You look at Damon Heta and you think, Christ, that's unfair.
Yeah, Shane, I agree. I will put that as feature once this one's over.
What's that? Where are we going?
Heta and...
Oh, yeah, without doubt. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that is definitely a feature game.
Lukeman versus Deswan is weird for a Grand Slam spot.
Christ, yeah. Wow. One of them two's going to the Slam. Let that sink in. God, yeah, Damon Heta, if he comes through Ryan Joyce, he gets all the fun of playing Daryl Gurney. That's a filthy bracket that he's been served today, Damon Heta.
Yeah.
Especially when you could probably argue that he's one of the people most aggrieved by having to come to this in the first place. And in previous years would have absolutely done enough and would be there already. No, so not only has he had, what would have been a qualifying spot denied him, he's had to come to this in the first place, and he just keeps getting served up top 16 players who are or players in top form. Filth. Deciding leg. Jules Van Dongen and Owen Bates, 4-all in that one. Board 2. We're just getting underway in the top 64. Sienna Klassen and Thibaut Tricol. Yeah, tell you what, he might not play Daryl Gurney in the next round because Nick Kenny's 2-0 up on him.
So, but if Kenny can get to the Grand Slam, it would help his tour card hopes as well.
There are a few, who are, well, in the shit, for want of a better word. Let's have a quick look. Who's still in today?
Tell you what, Aspinall's just making a charge here. Back-to-back legs for the Asp. Just making Menzies think.
So, Jeffrey Deswan sits in number 73. He's got to get to 64 to try and hold on to that tour card. Getting to the Grand Slam, it's a way. It's giving yourself a route at least, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jeffrey Deswan making a play today to try and keep that tour card alive. Nick Kenny as well. He's a grand or just over a grand ahead of Jeffrey Deswan, but those two outside of the running, or outside of the green.
Just out of interest, have you ever been to Leicester? I don't think there's any amusement arcades. I wish there was, but it's not a seaside town.
There's no way Aspinall comes back from 4-0 down when he was averaging 66.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Keane Barry has beaten Madas Razma. Jules Van Dongen beats Owen Bates. You've never been to Leicester then, mate. There's not a lot on the high street there.
Right.
Tell you what, Aspinall is only one away from getting level.
Yes, I flipped off that. Why did I do that?
They've both kicked off. They're both on 9s.
Get it back. Sorry, everyone. I'm clicking around all over. I've done it again. Oh, man. What are you doing?
I'll tell you what, under pressure, this is some leg from Menzies here.
He was just, the door just got left ajar slightly, didn't it? As Cam Menzies was walking through the door to the next round, he left it open and Nathan Aspinall tried to just run through. But there's no chance. This 136 is going.
This goes yellow. Aspinall's favourite. Oh, he's missed double 8.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my. Oh, Nathan Aspinall almost pulled off a Harry Houdini. But Cameron Menzies is through. If you haven't yet, make sure you drop us a like and subscribe to the channel. Massively appreciate all the support, everyone. Thoughts on Rob Owen? Good player. Just needs to not go to the next level is the wrong word, but at times just lacks a bit of consistency, but very good player.
This is a great game so far. Played to a very good standard.
Charles, not a problem, mate. Good to have you in. Hope all is well in Cape Town, South Africa, mate. It's what we do. Keep you all going.
There's some really odd matches coming up. And when you start to look at the bracket, you know, and you work out one of those 4 or one of those 3, it's going to be at the Slam. Danny Van Tripe beats Richard Veenstra. And he now moves 1 match away. Ryan Joyce, big, huge breaker throw. Averages here of 108 and 109.
Happy days, Charles. Happy days. I must admit, South Africa is on my bucket list of countries that I desperately want to go and see.
Jeffrey de Graaf averaging just shy of 116 as he goes 3-0 up on Chris Dobie.
This is the one. If Dobie doesn't make the Slam, that's the biggest miscarriage of justice.
Yeah, the number 1 seed. The number 1, you know, the number 1 seed for the Players' Championship Finals.
He's won 3 Pro Tours, finished number 1
Pro Tour
of merit.
Yeah, he's won the Pro Tour.
And I'm not being horrible to Mensur Suljovic or Roby because they're both great guys, but finishing runners-up in a pairs tournament, come on now.
But, and I mean, as well, if this double 16 goes for Ryan Joyce, Damon Heta is properly up against it as well. Oh, it doesn't. Jeez. That shit. It certainly does, Tony. Nathan Aspinall will not be playing at the Grand Slam. Leg on the board for Dobie. Now we've started. Here we go. Just like before, he's just toying with them. Ryan Joyce is doing anything but with Damon Heta. 3-1 up, just 2 legs away now, Ryan Joyce. We've seen magnificent things from him recently. Damon Heta definitely will not be happy about that draw.
Charles, you'll get there, mate. Don't worry, keep going. You'll get there.
Thibaut Tricot's playing some lovely darts.
Look, it happened in the past, as Matador said, but I don't see it ever happening again. How we doing, mate? Hope you're good. Dobie has to win 4 on the spin, or he will not be at the Grand Slam.
Thibaut Tricot goes 1 away, 4-2 ahead of Yella Klassen. Again, averaging nicely, just playing some nice darts today, Tricot. Could the French be represented at the Grand Slam?
I think Tricot I said yesterday on the stream, I think Tricot's had a really good season.
He's played some lovely stuff, hasn't he?
Yeah. I love it. Man United appoint a new coach that can't start for another 10 days.
Standard. Yeah, Dan Ashworth is not all he's cracked up to be. Believe me.
You'd still like him back?
Nope. I wouldn't have him back working on the chip van out the back.
He's better than your current guy that Eddie Howe doesn't get on with, so one of them's got to go.
Well, I'd get rid of them all and just give Eddie the keys to the car. I'd get rid of a lot of them and just give Eddie the keys and say, can you just sort it out? Him and Mad Dog, they'll be all right, them too. Ryan Joyce is absolutely pummeling Damon Heta here. Damon Heta's averaging 103 and can't get a leg.
Dobie has one back.
The Italians are in the chat room.
How are we doing?
Fans of Michele Torretta, who is 1-0 up. Now, again, it would be magnificent to see an Italian at the Slam. But I don't imagine a great many people have put their 50 pence on Michele Torretta qualifying this morning. As Nick Kenny moves 1 step closer, averaged 103 there. That was a massive victory over Daryl Gurney. Huge.
Yeah.
To be fair, we're thinking of signing players and appointing people to jobs that you can't have. We've just signed, Newcastle have just signed a striker who won't join us until August next year. He's under contract elsewhere. Only a young and like, but
Yeah, players that happens with, but managers, you pay these release clause. It's like, what's going on?
yeah, he's on holiday. It's like having a pre-booked holiday, isn't it? I'm starting my new job, but unfortunately, I've got a pre-booked holiday. Torretta 2-0 up, averaging 91 as well. He's playing well for it. It's not like he's just being handed legs. Chris Dobie wins another. Oh, Ryan Joyce gets it done.
Dobie has the darts here to make it 4-all. Will still need to break in the deciding leg. Thibaut Tricot has ended the Cobra's hopes.
That is, it's massive for Damon Heta to not be there. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's another top 10 player who isn't going to be there. Damon Heta ranked number 9 in the world. And today we have watched players ranked number 5, number 7, and number 9 all go out.
The other one as well, does that just harm Hetter's potential Premier League dreams?
I think it doesn't do it any good, does it? It certainly doesn't make him more likely to be in the Premier League. It reduces the... Let's be honest, he's got to win something. Like, he's going to have to win something. And if he isn't in the tournament, he ain't going to bloody win it. So...
Well, I'm just looking. Because he's now not at the Grand Slam, he's provisionally 6th on the tour card race. But if Gerwyn Price qualifies, he then has more money going on top. Bunting is there. Littler is there. He starts to become a little
that de facto place that he's got. He could almost start sliding down it before he's even got to it. Before he's fulfilled the potential to reach that place, it can start to slip away. Premier League will never be what you think it should be, Matthew. It'll be what Sky want. It's their tournament. It's their exhibition. It's their...
Toby. He's missed the opportunity for 4-all. De Graaf has a chance to win it.
No. Ah, shit.
Chris Dobey, the man who finished top of the Pro Tour Order of Merit, the #1 seed for the Players' Championship Finals, 3 Pro Tour wins, will not be at the Slam.
Dobey, Hetter, Clayton, Aspinall, Van Duijvenbode, Cullen. What a day. What a day. Darryl Gurney, Ryan Searle, Steve Beaton. What a day. Ah, dear, oh dear, oh dear. But
the first game for a place in the Grand Slam is underway. Martin Lukeman taking on Jeffrey Dejuan for a place in the Grand Slam of darts.
We're flying here, aren't we? Oh, we could legitimately have. Have we had an Italian at the Grand Slam before?
Not that I can ever remember.
If anyone in the chat room's got that knowledge, I can't see how we could have done. I don't think we would have had an Italian at the Grand Slam. I am all for it, though.
To be fair, we got to speak to the Italian pairing at the World Cup, and they had a wicked sense of humour when you got to chatting to them and everything like that.
Yeah, it's nice to see them doing well, because we know it's a country where we want the game to grow. We want a European tour there. We want to be able to go to Italy and watch darts, to be fair, like selfishly. So the more growth we can get in Italian darts, the better. And we will get that by these lads playing well, getting on the TV.
Martin Lukeman with an 11 dart leg in the opener. That'll do.
Kelly Toretta is going to get 3 darts to go 4-1 up. This could happen. Once we've got this game finished, we'll focus our feature games on those matches that are for a place at the Slam. We'll go to those top 16 games.
Brett Claydon has one back, but Toretta has the darts here. It was only a hold of throw.
Just had to get me Mrs. S fetching bruising for me.
Oh, speaking of which, I know Mrs. S is a big fan of seasonal decoration in the house. You know where I'm going with this.
Oh.
When are you stepping in?
Well, so here's a thing, right? And we're going to go slightly off topic for a second, but nothing's on the cut, so we can. I definitely remember that there used to be 2 separate trips into the loft. There used to be a trip into the loft where I put all of the Halloween decorations away. All the Halloween decorations went back into their boxes, and they all went in the loft. And then several weeks later, there was another trip to the loft where I brought all the Christmas decorations down. In recent years, these trips into the loft have got...
Oh, you're up there, past these ones down.
And now we're at the point where this is becoming... She's trying to make it one trip so that we take all the skeletons and skull and crossbones and everything away, and we bring down, reindeers and all sorts. But, it's mate, we've gone... this year, the house... I'll have to send you some pictures of the house, because we've done... there was giant spiders' webs across the front gardens, and the big spiders and everything on them. But the kids are excited because last year for reasons I don't know, bought a massive inflatable dinosaur in a Santa suit that the kids have called Dennis. Dennis the dinosaur comes out at Christmas, so he's going to be out on the front lawn fairly soon, along with some light up reindeers and some other bits and pieces. So yeah, the short answer is, if I didn't dig my heels in, we decorate. And we're going out, we're going to a firework display tonight, firework and fair and everything. I'm trying to just put off Christmas by keeping everyone busy. I'm in London next week for a couple of days, so it won't be next week, maybe a week after.
Do you want to ask me the same question?
I reckon if you haven't started, I'll be shocked. There'll be something in your house somewhere. There's a bauble somewhere in your house, I guarantee it, that's hanging. What are we on the first? Yeah, first's about where you go, in it.
The ladder is positioned above the loft hatch.
Ah, dear.
Toretta is 1 away from beating Claydon. Martin Lukeman 3-0 up, averaging nearly 110. Good morning from New Zealand once again. Great to have you in. The Italian flags are waving in the chat room. Good to have you in. Phil, how are we doing? November the 1st is 2. So, Joe, hear me out. I go early. One, I freaking love Christmas. But the other one is I'm away for a lot of December. So I have to put them up early to enjoy it.
Yeah, you must only spend less than a handful of days of December in your house there. Like you wouldn't see your decorations if you didn't put them up long before the Worlds. No, actually, I think now I've got quite a nice sort of start to Christmas, because I consider the start of Christmas being the Live Lounge Live. That's the beginning. That's when Christmas starts. That's my first Christmas songs in the car, like that. That's when I know Christmas is starting. It's the Live Lounge Live. We're making my pilgrimage to Ilkeston. We're going to talk about the World Championships.
Yeah, but going back to Martin Lukeman, he is 225 points away from qualifying for the Grand Slam.
Michele Toretta can't take this 64 out. He might come under a little bit of pressure here. He can't. He is just falling under a little bit of pressure.
Yes, Anthony. I'm fully getting... I've got some little Christmas lanterns on the side behind that I'm prepping as well.
Oh, he's done it. He's done it. Michele Toretta is 1 game away from the Grand Slam, from being, as far as we can tell, the first Italian representative.
He's 1 game away, but I'll tell you who is there, and it is Smash Martin Lukeman is going to the Grand Slam.
He's done it.
He has bageled Jeffrey Deswan, 107 average for smash. He is going to Aldersley.
He's done it in absolute style as well, like 107 average. It's a monstrous performance. He has well and truly booked his place today. He's turned up and gone about his business in a very good manner.
Two other games underway. Danny Noppert versus Danny Van Tripe for a place in the Slam. And Noppy takes the opener. And Cameron Menzies against Matty Dennant, the maverick of Menzies. And again, before Menzies is in, if he wins this game, you will not want him in your group.
No, he could do damage. He could do real damage. And he's got Matty Dennant. But I'll tell you what, that 72 for Matty Dennant is very good under pressure. Because Cam Menzies had set himself up there. He was right on his tail, leaving just tops. Matty Dennant's done very well just to keep his composure and get rid of that. As Ross Smith, 5-2. Again, Ross Smith, a big name that if he comes through the qualifier, there will be some people wanting to avoid him at the Slam. See, we're still on Christmas trees in there. The trick is you need to transition to real trees because you can put off real trees. If you've got a plastic tree, they can tell you that they can tell you can put it up anytime. If you get a real tree, first of all, they don't go on sale quite as early. And second of all, you don't want to put it up too early because all the needles will fall off.
Oh, I could find you a real one now.
I'm surprised you aren't grown and mate. I'm surprised you haven't got one lined up in the garden. Well, there's 2025s, there's 2026s. Just off out with your axe. 4 seeded players make it through to the last 16. Only 4 seeded players will even have a chance.
Jacob, we will try and do the World Championship tour card holder qualifier, but I'll be honest, it depends if one of the other team members, like Dan, is available because it's on the Monday, the same day as World Championship Media Day.
I have to work out which screen I'm sharing as to whether I can open my calendar and look at it. When is it?
Monday the 25th, I think it is.
I'm not sure off the top of my head. I'll have to check my work diary. I'm off this week, so I haven't looked at my work diary for anything.
Yeah, Monday the 25th of November.
I might be able to make it. I could put half a day and get the afternoon off.
As I say, if one of the team can do it, then 100% we will. But I shall be in London for the media day.
Day after Minehead when everyone's yes. Day after Minehead. I'm not going to Minehead in November. I'm going in March, but I'm not going in November. UK Open is what it's all about in Minehead now.
Just out of interest, do all the relevant other halves know about the UK Open yet, or is it still radio silence with some of them?
Mrs. S does.
Mrs. S wasn't the one I was worried about.
I don't know if Gob, Cam and Jars misses all know that we're going to Minehead. It'd be terrible if that's how they found out. It would be a disaster if they found out we were having 3 nights away watching darts and drinking ale. Danny Noppert goes 2-0 up, and let's not forget, folks, that these games in the top 16, that's what really matters. Top 16, what that means is if you win the top 16 match, you are going to the Grand Slam. So that is where the important business is being transacted.
Menzies to break. Dennant has missed. Menzies does not. The Maverick, Cameron Menzies, averaging 107. To be fair, well, we've got Matador says he'll take their ticket if they're not. Out of them, I'm not going to name him because it's not fair, but there's only one that I'm concerned about not being allowed to go.
However, and I'll tell you what, you might want to think carefully before volunteering to come along, because we get one of those nice apartment things. However, you can't change the bed setup. So for chaps, you get a room that's got 2 twin beds and a room that's got a double bed.
And the sofa bed.
Yeah, it doesn't tend to get any use, that.
Also, Dan, if you're available Monday, you could have a guest.
Oh, I might have to put half a day in.
Oh, Dan and Anthony doing the World Championship qualifier.
It'd be a 12 o'clock start, wouldn't it?
Let me double check that. Let's see if I can find out.
I reckon it'll be a 12 o'clock start, so I could just book an afternoon off work. I could work very hard in the morning. I slept on a caravan next to Danny Baggish. I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm not sure if top and tail in Majala Theatre is comparable, but who knows?
So yeah, Monday the 25th, Wigan, 12 start.
12 o'clock start. Right. Let's see what we can do. We will do our best, folks. We will do our best.
It could be Dan and Anthony taking you through the final spots for Alexandra Palace.
3-1 Menzies is in cruise control here. Ryan Joyce takes the opening leg. And again, folks, these are the all-important games. These 3 matches at the top. We've already got 1 of the 8 spots booked. Martin Lukeman is going to be in Wolverhampton. Who will join him? Certainly looks at the minute like it could be Cameron Menzies. Mickey Mansell against Gerwin Price if he comes through this match with Jules van Dongen.
Or, Jamie, is that a red herring? Has Dan thrown a red herring in there?
I just knew who we'd already designated being in the sharing bed. Because it ain't going to be me. Yeah, I take my own pillows when I go to mine. If you think I'm top and tailing with one of those mutants, there's absolutely no chance. Oh, dear.
Cameron Menzies is a leg away from the Grand Slam. I tell you what, he is developing. For years and years, we said that Cameron Menzies was the best player never to have a tour card. It took him time. He got there. He struggled year 1 a little bit, got better in year 2, and now he is flourishing. He is a winner in the PDC. He is going to all these big TV tournaments. And I think he's a danger.
He's hugely dangerous, and he's more dangerous if he gets in the habit of winning things. You know, now that he's won that Pro Tour event, he's no longer a player that hasn't won a Pro Tour. He's no longer the best player not to have won one. He is very much a dangerous player. His A level, the ceiling of his game is so incredibly high, so high.
I will be. There's a while away yet between now and Ali Pally.
Well, there's a lot of darts to be played between now and then as well. A lot of darts to be played. Danny Noppert has got 1 foot in the Grand Slam of darts. 4-1 up over Danny Van Tripe. Looking very comfortable. Ryan Joyce is a break up against Nick Kenny. Just waiting for a couple of those last 32 games to be over with so that we get our final lineup. We'll be done by 3 o'clock today.
but Menzies couldn't get the job done on his own throw. Didn't breaks, but only starts with a 40. Also, Danny Noppert is a game away. Again, Noppy had a bit of a mid-season dip, but all of a sudden, the freeze is just coming back into some form and is a difficult customer to beat.
It certainly is. He's sort of like he's not. He's very James Wade-like, isn't it? The way that the way that he plays and how tough he is to beat it's often very, very similar to a well, you could say a peak James Wade.
I'm not sure. Ranking it doesn't make it a difference, Connor. It's a big cost to justify for two tournaments with the same player. Like, I know I go to New York every time, but it's a lot easier. The cost of New York is nowhere near what it is for Australia.
It's an awful lot of time as well. It's unproductive as well. You know, if you fly to New York, it's not a particularly long flight, and once you get there, you can get cracked on and get some stuff done. There's a lot of faffing and farting around to do for where we are in the world to get to Australia.
But don't get me wrong, Australia is on my list of countries that I want to go and visit because it looks amazing. But for darts, it's a hard one.
Yeah. There he is, Danny Noppert. He is in the Grand Slam of Darts for 2024.
And also Menzies, is this his chance? He's missed the dart of the ball, but this time he takes it. Cameron Menzies is also going to Aldersley. The Maverick Scotsman joins Gary Anderson and Peter Wright.
We've only got...
Yes, the winners of the quarterfinals all go to the Grand Slam. Sorry, the quarterfinalists would be your 8 qualifiers.
Yeah, we're not playing to a winner today, folks. As soon as you've got through to the last 8, you can put your darts away, bugger off, and book yourself a hotel in Wolverhampton. Don't need quite the screen space anymore. This is a ball ache of a leg for both of them. Nick Kelly faffing around a lot. Cannot find a treble. Ryan Joyce punishes, and Joyce now just 2 away. Yeah, no playing to a winner today. As soon as you're through to the last 8, you've qualified for the Grand Slam, and that's it.
It'll be good. Look, I know the question was asked about majors in Australia. Look, if the sport is going to, it's not there yet, but if the sport is going to go truly global, then look, there will have to be majors around the world.
And you'll probably find, and it'll take a long time, but those majors will probably be versions of what the ones we know now, but they will again take on a new identity. You know, that they'll develop in format and structure, because as soon as you move it to a different place, you've then got to accommodate sessions and how it's going to be divided for local times and venues and TV time and everything else. So they'll all sort of develop their own new identity, but it'll happen eventually. It'll happen quite slowly, but
yeah. Keane Barry has got the winner of Thibaut Tricol and George Killington. That one's a little bit behind.
Yeah, it's still just lagging that one, isn't it, on board too?
But yeah, that's who.
James Wade and Michele Torretta is underway for a spot.
And look, Toretta's going to be up against it here. James Wade has played lovely today. But fairy tales happen in sport sometimes.
Certainly do. Big visit from Nick Kelly there, but Ryan Joyce 3 darts at door 16 to go within one leg. He needs all 3 of them as well, but 4-1 ahead now, Ryan Joyce.
Yeah, Anthony, 100%. And look, I wish this is a really good one, and I wish the PDC would actually come out and say what a major is. Look, these are the 4, and then underneath you've got another category. Then under those you've got Euro Tours and so on.
Triple Crown, isn't it?
I think four majors. The world's the match play. Controversially, I'm putting the Premier League in there. I know everyone won't, but I am. And then one other makes up the 4 for me.
See, I don't care. I don't want to go into the nitty gritty of what they are, but I want a Triple Crown purely because I want there to be a crown, a real crown. And if you win the Triple Crown, you have to wear the crown. Like wrestling years ago, where if you won the King of the Ring, when the Macho Man became the that's what I want that in darts. So whoever's the Triple Crown wears the Triple Crown. He has to wear his hat all the time.
Look, the players see the Triple Crown as the world's the match play in the Premier League. I know there isn't a thing, but that the players see those 3 as the Triple Crown.
Yeah, you can see why.
Or do you have the world's on its own and then 4 majors below the world's?
Yeah, you could have almost like a pyramid. You know, like you could have you could have the worlds and then 3 or 4 underneath, and then fan that out to your, you know.
No, Fallon's not at the Grand Slam this year. Noelin will make her Grand Slam debut.
Thibaut Tricol within 1 now, 4-2 up on George Killington. Again, Thibaut Tricol playing some lovely darts today, averaging 92.5, going very nicely about his business. Ryan Joyce throwing for the match, off to a nice start there as well. Jeffrey de Graaf you would say for him, if he beats Chris Dobey and Ross Smith back to back, then he's definitely earned his spot. And we know he's got that game in him. We've seen some really, really good stuff from Jeffrey de Graaf this year, haven't we? Like, it wouldn't be a stunning shock if he, but what a route if he bats off Dobey and Ross Smith back to back to book a place there, then he's certainly bloody earned it.
100%. Fallon is at the Worlds.
Premier League is non-ranking, Thomas, because it's an exhibition. It's the world's biggest, highest paid darts exhibition.
James Wade, 2-0 to the good. Toretta has it all to do here. Wade looks set to be heading to Aldersley.
Michele Toretta as well has picked exactly the wrong moment to have a big drop-off in form, as he's only averaging 74. We've seen a lot better from him than that today. Ryan Joyce, 3 darts to book a place at the Grand Slam. Will we get some Northeast representation? And we will. 5-2 victory. Superb work from Ryan Joyce. He has been a player in superb form of late. And he backs that up by making sure he secures a spot at the Grand Slam. Excellent work.
George Killington not giving up against Tricole here. Tricole has missed a match start. If Killington breaks back here, he'll go favourite in the decider. He goes favourite Tricole. Has he missed the opportunity?
James Wade hasn't lost a leg today.
That's some going.
It is if he don't lose one in this match and he qualifies, he comes through the qualifier without losing a leg. I would consider the UK Open a major, yes.
I would as well.
I think that sometimes it hasn't been treated as such by some folk, but yes, definitely is. Has to be, doesn't it? Has to be. I do think it needs a rethink. I think we need to rethink how we qualify people for it and how many there are and how they qualify. Definitely needs a little restructure on the qualification, but definitely a major for me. And James Wade finally loses a leg. First leg of the day. Michele Toretta, the charge is on. Still only averaging 78 though. Not going to get past James Wade unless he can find something in this game.
Thibaut Tricole is going to get an opportunity here. 161. He's already missed match darts. Is he going to do it in style? He's second best. He's teed up 24 and says to George Killington, can you take out 133? I'm poised. I'm ready. Can you hit? The answer is no. So Tricole will get 3 more match darts. Only needs the one. Thibaut Tricole sees off George Killington and he will now be in the money match.
We've now got our final lineup, haven't we? We now know all those games. James Wade now 3-1 up on Michele Toretta. Warming up, we've got Gerwyn Price and Mickey Mansell. And then shortly on that warm-up, I'm sure once Thibaut Tricole has had a quick rest and a run to the lav, we will see Keane Barry and Thibaut Tricole, who will inevitably be playing for the final, the very last spot.
Yeah, if you can, everyone. Cheers, Bob. Drop us a like and subscribe to the channel. We're etching ever closer to that 40k mark.
Special prize as well when we reach 40k. A random subscriber will be treated to Parmo in the Wellington Inn in Wolverston. It's just out the back of my house. You have to make your way up here, but I'll treat you to a Parmo.
Yeah, Keane has had a long wait, and that's the drawback of when one board races in front.
I can't work out. So the Price and Mansell game, both of them seem to have not played for ages. Like, I don't know what we were waiting on for that game, because they both seem to have just not been. Both those games seemed to be finished ages ago. See, I say that. Rob's only about 20 minutes away. He'd probably just nip. He could nip down for a pal. I'll be in the pub there. I think I'll treat the family to a bite to eat before we go watching fireworks and fun fairs and things. Oh, Ross Smith. He's gone 6 perfect darts.
Hold on, everyone. Dan, I've done one of these before. This is your moment, son.
Is it coming? I think I've had one. I've had one on the stream. 180, 180. Ross Smith to break through. Go on. It was taking ages there, and I thought, here we go. But no, James Wade 4-1 up now. While that excitement of 6 perfect darts from Ross Smith was going on, James Wade is just now 1 leg away. Rubbish. Smith. Rubbish from Smith. But he does get that leg 1, 3-2. Not that one, Rob. A nicer one.
To be fair, I like this. So we've got level 1 World Championship, Triple Crown, Match Play Premier League, TBC, Grand Slam, then UK Open,
Like it.
Masters, Slam Grand Prix, Tour Championships, Players Championship. I don't dislike it. I like it. I love the Triple Crown. I love that they have it in snooker. I love it that they put the little crown on their waistcoats and everything as well.
Yeah, it should be a proper hat though, shouldn't it?
The thing is, if the Triple Crown was what we think it is, there's only 3 players that have done it, which makes it even more special.
Without a doubt. James Wade's nearly there. Ross Smith just getting his foot down now, averaging 106. Jeffrey de Graaf is playing some lovely darts, but he is struggling just to keep pace with the scoring of Ross Smith. He keeps, again, just creating opportunities for himself. James Wade brings an end to the Italian hopes with a 5-1 victory. James Wade will be in Wolverhampton.
Tommy, they're the 3. Also, Gerwin Price is under pressure here. Mickey Mansell held in the opener, and he has the Gerwin Price throw under the cosh here. Sorry, but I disagree with you on this one, Bob. The Premier League's part of the Triple Crown for me.
It's a great game of darts, this. Between Smith and de Graaf.
I'll tell you what, Mansell's on the verge of going 2-0 up here. This should be interesting.
It certainly would, after Gerwin Price seemingly just brushing aside opponents to get to this point. Yeah, you can maybe imagine Price getting slightly frustrated at the pace that this is being played at.
And it is 2-0. Mansell has broken.
Like that, Rob.
Draw for the Grand Slam is Monday.
I don't think we're going to see a brand new major, a first-time major winner at the Grand Slam. I think we'll see somebody who's used to picking up trophies winning it.
That Sunday is tough.
Not in it.
Yeah.
Jeffrey de Graaf putting up a strong fight here. Still not getting going as well, not even warming up in that final match.
Going Price is just threatening a break back here. He's effectively stolen the darts.
He'll regret coming if he doesn't get through this game, won't he? He'll think I should have just had it off, like I said.
Yeah.
Like I said that. I said I wasn't going. I should have just stuck to it. Might do him more harm than good, this. Even though he's played lovely through the afternoon.
That setup could have been better. It just opens the door again for Mansell. Price is on 90, which is not a gimme. Mantle's on 142. If he can't take it out, he can just set this up.
The break opportunity for Jeffrey de Graaf there. 3-140s on the spin. Gives him a really good opportunity to break Ross Smith, level this game up, and then throw for the match potentially. And he does in 2 dart combination, takes out 81, 4 all. But Jeffrey de Graaf is now on throw. Ross Smith looked completely in control of this match. Completely in control, and de Graaf has just tightened the screw.
Yeah, and Going Price does take out that 90. That's a big finish in the context of the game. Mansell was sat on 52. Price pins the 90 into to go back on throw. Michael Smith is at the Grand Slam for winning the World Cup, mate.
Well, that board surround looks hellish, doesn't it?
What's that?
That board surround.
It's lush, isn't it?
Yeah, it's literally come through on my watch there. The photos just popped up on it. It looks class. I love that. Yeah, mega. Like it. Ross Smith's scoring has just fallen off a cliff. That last leg, trebleless visit after trebleless visit, while de Graaf was pummeling 140s in. De Graaf's managed to, he's found a trebleless visit and a 21. It still hasn't hurt him. Ross Smith needs a big score here. He needs trebles. It's not enough. De Graaf's still in control here. Deciding leg. This is huge.
Going Price is just doing enough on throw here, but cannot afford a bad visit. No, he has one. Has a good visit, sorry. I'm going to send you a picture, Dan. This just came up on my feed, and this is heaven for me.
Oh, look at that. Yes.
Bully Boy is defending winners' money, and de Graaf has missed.
What a strange visit from Ross Smith. 170 to leave 11.
He's 61, 25 leads double 18.
That's what he's done, yeah. But it didn't matter because he got there in the end. Got there in the end.
Going Price tops to level us up. And we have a level game again. Yeah, that's like heaven, isn't it?
Yes, it's very impressive. Very impressive. Once we get this other game up and running, I'll just put the 2 games on because there's no point not just showing the darts going.
So 2 places left at the Grand Slam of darts. Either Going Price or Mickey Mansell, Keane Barry or Thibaut Tricol. And I think they're both rogue, Barry and Tricol.
They are. It's come from nowhere, hasn't it, really? Both of them have not, not come from nowhere. They've both sort of had an all right middling year, but not the sort of year that you would expect to bring a player to the Grand Slam. Mickey Mansell is finding exactly what he needs at the right time here. $140, $180 ton. He leaves 81 after 9. Price back on 271. But when it's first to 5, you run out of legs really quickly. Like, you run out of opportunities to catch back up very fast. If this 81 goes, Mickey Mansell's 2 away from upsetting Gerwyn Price. Let's just see what we can do getting.
There we go.
There we go.
So Mansell looking at tops. And he leads once again. Remember, Price is going to have to break the Mickey Mansell throw here.
He's running out. He's just running out of opportunities here, Price, isn't he? Very, very short games.
Getting a little bit nervy. Getting twitchy.
Yeah, Keane Barry off to a good start. Oh, mind you, that 180 from Tricole's massive. He was up against it there and looked at risk of being broken. That 180's completely spun around the momentum in this game.
I'll tell you what, Mansell's threatening again here. Gezi only averaging 91 to Mansell's 101. This is just getting a little bit interesting. Yes, it is the winner of Price Mansell goes to the Slam.
Oh, what a strange leg. Thibaut Tricole threw a 180, then backed it up 20 odd, and then managed to take out 107. Now, what a weird leg that was. Keane Barry opening first here, throwing a 45. You cannot get away with trebleless visits on throw in this format. It's just too short.
Gerwyn Price on 72. This would level things up. Remember, he's going to have to break the throw. Let me have a look. Is Mansell? Currently Mickey Mansell is at the World Championships.
Yeah. It's qualified for everything as well.
Yeah.
If he gets through.
Has missed. This is a big moment for Mickey Mansell.
Oh.
We can't take it. Is it Price's day?
He's got to find a breaker through. He's cocked it.
Gone round the houses.
Missed tops. He's missed tens. 118 from Keane Barry. This game, it's superb darts being played over there on the right-hand side of the screen. Monster checkouts. This is taking a long time to update this. Mickey Mansell, 3 darts.
Dart in hand.
Mickey Mansell throwing now.
Is now going to have to win 3 on the spin, and 2 of them are on the Mansell darts.
Ooh. It's quickly unraveling here, isn't it, for Gerwyn Price after a very routine start to the day. who was just very, very comfortably getting through these matches, and now it's starting to look a little wild.
Yes, Adam, Ricky Evans is no longer murky green. He is safe going to the World Championships.
No, Max, there is no money being played for today at all. So you could win 3 darts matches and you haven't won a quid. All that these lads are playing for is a spot at the Grand Slam. Nothing else, just qualifiers. Call down to 40. He's going to get 3 darts at tops to level this game up. Big visit from Price.
Oh, Tricole misses.
Oh, he's cocked it. Keen Barry for 64.
Price needs to back it up, though.
Tricole's got away with one there. Game stays on throw. Keen Barry trying to just hold his way through.
Oh, Mickey Mansell's had a mare. Leaves a bogey number. Gives Price time here.
Does, because he's going to get 6 darts from 148, so he can just tee something up. And he does. He takes 108, leaves himself tops, knows he's coming back for it. But he cannot make a mistake here, Gerwin Price. He cannot lose a leg. He's already lost 4.
Yeah, no, guaranteed money. Once you're at the Grand Slam, I think it's $5,000 guaranteed, even if you finish bottom of the group.
Yeah, it is.
Ezzy, there's one break. There's part 1 of the plan. Part 2 is now to hold.
There is no margin for error, though, now. Couple of slack visits, and it is over. And you can imagine him just becoming more and more and deeper frustrated with the pace of this game. And that is not how you want to start a 55 troubleless visit. Keen Barry comes back for double 16. Keep this game on throw and hold them. It doesn't, though. We've seen a couple of ton plus finishes already in this game between Barry and Tricole. This 101 goes out. This could be a huge break of throw. Oh, he's gone close. He's gone very close. Keen Barry holds again. 5 legs, 5 holds on the right-hand side of the screen.
Oh my, Mickey Mansell has the Gerwin Price throw under pressure here. This needs to be a maximum or a 1-7 something.
It's just that. Oh, it's another troubleless visit. He's thrown a stinker of a leg at exactly the wrong time. Exactly the wrong time.
Now has minimum 6 darts for 2-2-1 and a place at the Grand Slam. What a leg this is from the Cyclone. 3 140s to leave 81 after 9.
Which is what Keen Barry did in the previous leg on the opposite side of the screen.
It looks as if the Iceman is about to be melted. The King of Aldersley looks as if he's not even going to be there.
Oh!
Could he? Could he?
Oh. He's living close to the edge here, isn't he?
He couldn't, could he?
No.
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 Oh, the longer Dark Connect takes, the more you can start to go, is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, but you don't know when depending with these two, you don't know what the pace is like, do you? You can't really you can't get a read on it. Match starts incoming, Mickey Mansell, 3 match starts. And he needs all 3 of them, but he gets the win. Gerwin Price will not be at the Grand Slam of darts, and Mickey Mansell Will.
One place left. Keane Barry or Thibaut Tricol. And is this the moment Barry puts daylight between himself and Tricol?
Certainly is. Thibaut Tricol found himself in the madhouse, bus double one, allowed Keane Barry to come back and pinch that leg back from Tricol. Now just one leg away, Keane Barry, 4-2 up in a first to 5. That is a perfect start. Well, it's not perfect, but it's as near as you want to get. 140 opening. Tricol's going to have to put huge visits in here to keep pace with Barry. Keane Barry just edging closer and closer. He's got 1 foot. 1 foot in the door of the Aldersea Leicester Village.
Is it going to be Dynamite TNT Keane Barry taking the final spot, or has the Frenchman got something? Yes, Sam, his wedding anniversary is the same time as the Slam. Tricol cannot leave a finish. So Keane Barry has minimum 6.
Oh.
Sets up double 16. There's nothing Thibaut Tricol can do. All he can do is hit and hope.
That's still not even enough to really pressurise that double 16. 3 darts for Keane Barry. 2 darts gets the job done, and Keane Barry is the final qualifier for the 2024 Grand Slam of Darts. So just running down the 8 qualifiers that have come through today's event to book their place at the Slam in Wolverhampton are Keane Barry, Martin Lukeman, Ryan Joyce, Danny Noppert, Cameron Menzies, James Wade, Mickey Mansell and Ross Smith. They are your 8 qualifiers. Few shocks in there.
Yeah, there's a few. Like Keane Barry's rogue. Martin Lukeman, we've seen him produce big numbers. Ryan Joyce always loves a qualifier. Noppy, Cameron Menzies and James Wade, not surprised at. Mansell's rogue, and Ross Smith is one that you would have said would always be there or thereabouts.
Yeah, and you see with the draw as well, the way the draw went, we could only have got Ross Smith or Chris Dobie. Like there was a few sections where those big name seeds that you would have expected to probably get there, they couldn't all get there because of the way the draw went. So we couldn't have had Smith and Dobie. Damon Hetter, I think, is a loss. But he had a nightmare of a draw today. He had a horrific bracket to try and drag his way through. Some good darts though, and we saw some really good performances from, Matty Dennen had a really good run through to that final qualifying match, as did Michele Torretta. Jeffrey de Graaf, we saw some lovely stuff from as well, as we did with Jeffrey de Swan. So there was, even those players that nearly got there today, we did see some really good darts from them at this time of year. It's a positive.
Yeah, and I'm just, Cameron Menzies has been on Twitter again. Fanboy did another thing.
Brilliant.
Everyone, thank you very, very much indeed for your support over the last few days. It's been a great job on the Pro Tour from you all in the chat room and all of the team. It's been absolutely superb. Depending on the weekend, we may pop up with a surprise stream and do something for the Challenge Tour if it's getting interesting between Scott and Placia. But we will keep you posted with that. Dan, absolute stellar job today, my friend.
It's a pleasure. It's nice to get on one. I get to do so few of these now because they're all weekdays and I have to have a job and pay the mortgage and all the boring stuff. So it's been very nice this fell on a day where I was already off work and I could come and join you all talking about darts for the afternoon. It's a great pleasure.
Everyone, we are signing off. It's been superb. If you haven't yet, make sure you like and subscribe as we get ever so close to that 40k mark. But Dan Simpson, myself, Phil Bars, we have been Online Darts, and we'll see you all very, very soon.